What up, world? It's your woman butterfly. Oh, there's some bad lighting. But whatever, I really don't care about that right now because I am freaking tired. And I'm so mad at myself because I drank some of that coffee again. It is now 1 a.m. and I have to be up at 4:15. So it's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to sit here. I don't know if I'm going to take a nap. I might have to force myself to go to sleep somehow. I don't know. But I figured since I'm doing all this work, I need to do some work for God and get on here and finish this story, okay? Um, okay, I just want to say a couple things first. You know, fathers, please make sure you love your daughters. Okay, wait, before I say that, there is a documentary called the Michelle story, and it's about a R&B singer who used to date Dr. Dre. And when I watched that documentary, that is another prime example of how the devil will do you when you get involved with him. So watch the Michelle story, and you'll see how the demons passed her from one demon to another, and that's how he does you. Okay, that was the devil. All right. So, and it was sad. Like, it made me cry because there's a lot of women that be like, she's stupid, but when you don't know what love is, or you don't know how someone is supposed to love you properly, that is a gateway for the devil to get in like that. So fathers, please make sure you are loving your daughters, because if your daughter grows up and she's a woman that doesn't know how a man is supposed to treat her or how she's supposed to be loved, then she's in danger. She's in real danger because she will fall for anything, and there's no telling what can happen to her. She can get out here and get beat up. She can get out here and catch some crazy disease, or just fall for anything. So please love your daughters, all right? All right. So, with the story, I'm gonna tell as much of it as I can. I know I'm not gonna get to the end, but you guys gotta hear this at the end, because at the end is when his face just came off and it was just a monster. It was so crazy. But I was at the part when I ran away to Myrtle Beach, and I left out. I watched my other video, and I left out the fact that before I left Colombia, things started to get a little weird. I'm not trying to tell all my business on here, but I have to go into the story. So I'm going to say things started to get weird with the sex. It started to get kind of vile, kind of like, I'm ashamed to explain some of the things, but for instance, he started to call me names. And when someone's calling you names during sex or whatever, if you like, you try to please them so much that you letting them call you names. And I don't know, like, I just felt like maybe it was like some kind of fantasy he was living out. I don't know, but when I was drunk, I heard it, and then I just kind of just let him do it. And it's like, if you are with a man or a woman that is calling you names, you need to watch out. Bitch, skank, my hoe, my this that's a demon. Okay, that is a demon. All right, in the spirit realm, or it might be in the physical realm. Okay, but it's calling you a bitch is a dog. Okay, so that's disrespectful. And it's just so crazy how the devil has tricked these women into calling themselves dogs. All right, it's like, and he's tricked the men into calling themselves ignorant. Okay, by calling themselves the N-word. Okay, so it's like, I'm not finna date a man that's gonna be calling me that. I don't care what we're doing. Okay, you're not gonna call me no B word. You're not gonna call me no H word. But back then, I was just so lost that I was like, he's just trying to turn himself on or whatever, and it just got weird. There was one time when he spit in my face, and then he sucked it all off. So it was like, I thought I was doing like, I just thought I was like, feeling so good or whatever, fornicating, and then the spit hit my face, and it like was like, what the hell, So, and then when he sucked it all off, it was like, ugh, like, it was just gross. It was, you know, I couldn't even talk. I can't even. You see, I could barely talk to y'all about it, but the sex got vile. Okay, and it got to the point where I was telling him I don't feel like seeing him tonight because I was like, this guy likes to do disgusting things, and I'm tired tonight, and I don't feel like. Anyway, okay, so I'm in Myrtle Beach, right? And while I was in Myrtle Beach, he he got curious about where I was going and how it was going for me up there, and he even said that he was going to come see me a couple of times. And Myrtle Beach was 3 hours away, so he never came. We it just kind of fizzled out, me talking to him, because I started to feel like, I want more, I want better. Just the same way I left that club and found another club, I was feeling like I just want better everything. So when he saw, when he, I don't, well, I know why now he stopped reaching out to me, because I met another guy while I was in Myrtle Beach. And this guy looked exactly like him, except for he was a different race. So I started to date that guy, and I think that guy, he was all right, but it was still, a ungodly relationship. So I think that guy, I think that, if I wasn't the way I was, because I totally wasn't ready, I was constantly talking to this guy about Mr. Bad Romance and, comparing them, and, it just started to get on his nerves. And I mean, he wasn't bad. He bought me a bracelet. He took me to the dentist. Like, he talked about proposing to me. I believe that if something probably could have happened between us, if I wasn't so lost, and he wasn't, if God was involved, but it was just all the devil. So that ended because I ended up leaving Myrtle Beach. But while I was in Myrtle Beach and I became awakened, and I broke up with that guy, and I was like, I just want to be friends. I think that I just want to be friends. I don't want to fornicate anymore. I don't want, when you start talking like that to a worldly man, he's like, you don't want to fornicate anymore. Oh, this is over. So like, these relationships on this earth are based on fornicating. So you can't keep a worldly man if you're not going to fornicate, because he wants to fornicate. So it's not gonna last. Okay, so when I started to go through my change, how I told you on the other video, I was like, I don't want to have sex anymore, and I was coming to work and I was seeing stuff. Then I hadn't heard from Mr. Bad Romance in months, okay, and then he reached out to me, all right, and that wasn't the first time that he did that like that. I'm gonna tell y'all as the story goes on. It was like right on time, right when I decided that I wasn't gonna do this stuff anymore. Mr. Bad Romance reached out for me. Okay, I might have my timings off a little, but I'll confirm it as it comes back to me, because I dated that guy in Myrtle Beach for maybe like 4 months. Okay, and I lived in Myrtle Beach for, I think it was a little close to a year. And okay, so the 4 months that I was there, for the first 4 months I was there, Mr. Bad Romance reached out to me, and then he stopped, And then, yeah, I started dating the other guy, and then we dated for about almost 5 months. Okay, then that's when I decided I wanted to stop doing all this crazy stuff. And then I'm not, you know what? I'm not sure about the times. I'm not sure. I can't even give y'all times. I can't because it happened back in 2009. And yeah, I was in Myrtle Beach for a little less than a year. So I'm not sure about the times, but no, I don't remember the times, y'all. Okay, but I'm gonna tell y'all how the story went. Okay, so that's all I can do. I went to Myrtle Beach. Mr. Bad Romance stopped reaching out to me. I started dating the other guy. As soon as I stopped dating the other guy and started going crazy, Mr. Bad Romance reached out to me. Okay, and he was like, "I want to come up there. I'm coming up there for real this time. I'm coming up there. I'm gonna chill with you and everything." And I was like, "No." I was like, "No, I don't want to." And he was like, "No, you telling me no?" He was like, "You telling me no?" And I was like, "Yeah, something's going on." And I started talking about all that crazy stuff, and he was like, "What's wrong with you? Are you losing your mind? You going crazy? You can't afford to lose your mind. You got an apartment now. You got a car now. You can't afford to be talking like that and doing that. What you gonna do? You gonna stop dancing? Like, what you gonna do?" And I was like, "I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna trust God. I don't know. And you can't come up here, right?" So shortly after that conversation, the guy that I was dating that I broke up with, I just left. Okay, I just left Myrtle Beach. I left my dog, my car. I junked it, and I got on the bus and went home to my mother in Tampa. Okay, so while I was in Tampa, my mom was like, my mom is not like one of the moms that's like, "Hey baby, you back home?" She's like, "Why you coming back home? Like you need your diaper change." Okay, so I went home because it was just crazy, and it was just so crazy because I was trying to tell my family about this stuff, and it was like, you can't tell people. You have to pick and choose your words carefully. But back then, I couldn't, so I was in Tampa, and then one day I was walking to the library, and it was like, at this time I was kind of weak. I could be brought back even after all that. You try not to think about it anymore, and then you think about the world, and you're like, I need money. You know what I'm saying? I'm here in Tampa. I'm living with my mom, and I don't have a car. I have to ride the bus, and I'm gonna go to the library, I guess. So I went to the library, and when I got out the bus, went to the library, and while I was in the library, somebody ran up on me, okay? And that's when I started dating the demon whose name I have tattooed on my back. Okay, the one I told you about a couple episodes ago that was like, "Oh, so you a Ralphie now?" And he told me he met a guy named Ralphie and he ate him or something like that. Like it's like another story, like it's another demon story, but I met a make it that could be a short story because it was a short time. I met a guy, and he was light skinned with the tattoos, and he was Hispanic because I was over the light skin tattoo thing. I was like, no more light skin tattoo. Okay, but this one had a little Hispanic mix into him, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's so cute. His personality is so explosive. But you gotta get to know people, okay? Because the reason why his personality was explosive because he was high on cocaine. All right, so, and he sold cocaine, but he told me he had a job, and I never had anybody give me money the way he did, so I started dating him, and I thought it was so great, and it was just so embarrassing the end of that. And when I was dating him, I went to a tattoo shop and got my belly button pierced, and the guy that pierced my belly button looked and it seemed like the same people. The girl that I told y'all about on the first video when I went under that tree, the one that I was staying with, her and her little peasant friend, he looked, I mean, like, it's like, I'm sitting here questioning myself, was that the same guy that pierced my belly button in Tampa? because when I went to that shop to get my belly button pierced, there was all this demonic stuff all over the place. There was an alien on the back door. There was a mirror that had all these little demon faces all over. And you can go to any piercing and tattoo shop, and there's just demonic stuff all over the place. Okay, like, it's like crazy. Like, I'll get a piercing at Claire's if I want one, but when you walk into them tattoo shops, oh no, you are in a dungeon. Okay, and those are demons that are piercing you up and giving you tattoos and stuff. And I even remember a girl smiling at me when I left that looked exactly like this one here that told me that I the first girl that I told y'all about under that tree. Okay, so it's like I'm sitting here questioning myself, asking myself, were those the same people? It's so crazy, but anyway, while I was in Tampa, Mr. Bad Romance reached out to me every once in a while just to ask where I am, find out where I'm at. And it was really weird when I broke up with the Hispanic dude because he sat outside my mom's apartment in his van. He just did some crazy stuff. So, but this is not about him. I mean, if y'all want to know about him, I'll come back and tell that story, but I'm trying to make this Mr. Bad Romance story short. But anyway, okay, I stayed in Tampa for about a year, living with my mom, and then I came back to Augusta, Georgia. All right, while I was in while I was in Tampa, I also went back to a club, okay? And the clubs in Tampa are really nasty, okay? The girls dance completely nude, and it's just gross, okay? As soon as you walk in the door, all you see is a big vagina in your face. All right, so I call myself going to one of those clubs, and when I went to the club, it is called Alibi or something like that. When I went there, God let me know that he did not want me there. All right, and it was just different because I could see, and the final sign was me getting into a fight with these 3 Hispanic girls. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that is a sign that you are in a place that you're not supposed to be. All right, so that's how that went there. All right. Anyway, I was in Tampa for about a year with my mother, and then I came back to Augusta, Georgia. All right, now when I was in Augusta, I did not dance at all. Okay, I worked at Applebee's for about 2 years. All right. Now I remember that time because it was like 2010 to 2012 that I worked at Applebee's. And while I was working at Applebee's, Mr. Bad Romance, I can't say that he changed, but yeah, he did change. It seemed like he did change. It seemed like he wasn't being as rude, and he was like, talking to me like he wanted something serious, and he was respecting the fact that I didn't want to sleep with him, when I didn't, because I still did sometimes. He was now coming from Columbia to Augusta to see me every once in a while. Okay, and he was like, oh, I see you gaining weight and you're not coming in the club no more. Sometimes, and I ended up getting my own place after a year staying in Augusta. And then he started to come down more because I had my own place. And then he started to, he didn't look so bad. Like, he had like this glow going on, and sometimes he would come over and just be like, I just want to lay you down. I just want to lay with you. I don't want to do that tonight. I just want to lay with you. And I really think that at that time I was trying to start a business and everything. And I eventually stopped having sex with him again. I think the only reason why I did was because I hadn't seen him so long and I just couldn't fight it or whatever. But I felt bad every time. Even though it seemed like he was changing, I still felt bad. And then I got to the point where I completely stopped, because he could just come and go as he pleased. And like, that was when I started to really feel it, the part when he left, like, where are you going? And he would say the craziest stuff. Oh, I gotta take my mom to Lowe's. Oh, I gotta go work at the club tonight. Oh, I gotta get back to Columbia. So I was like, you know what, this is, I feel like I'm building something here, and I feel like this is the devil trying to keep his foot in the door, and sleeping with somebody is not gonna make them marry you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just cut it off again, and I was like, you know what, next time he call, I'm just gonna say no. And I did a really good job at that. Now, while I was in my own place, I was going to school and working at Applebee's, and the devil came in through another way, and that way was through the computer. I was on the computer and I was looking up some YouTube stuff, and I got into the kundalini and all that mess, and I was doing that mess in my house, y'all, and all of a sudden my house became infested with spiders. Okay, so it was just messed up, and I ended up not going to work, not going to school, just feeling like, all that stuff is worthless, and I should have kept doing that stuff, but I was at home trying to figure out how to redeem my straw man account and all that, and ended up just kind of just messing everything up. And I remember one night I was like, I need to go back to the club. Right? I got on the computer and was also looking at this club in Charlotte. And I was like, I need to go to this club. Mr. Bad Romance, I guess he kept reaching out to me every once in a while, but he kind of gave up coming down there because I believe he was tired of hearing me say no or whatever. But I didn't care at the time. I just wanted to do good things. And the first time that I decided I was gonna go back to a club, because my rent needed to be paid, and everything that I was building was just falling apart. The first time I decided I need to go back to a club, my car broke down on the way there. All right, so that was a sign that God didn't want me to go to the club. God wanted me to go find another job to keep my bills paid or whatever, cause I was really being blessed, especially when I was going to school and getting those Pell Grants and a couple of loans. Like, I know you gotta pay them back, but they good when you need them. So it was like, I just messed up, but it's okay. It's okay now. But so now we are at the part where I was in Augusta, and I'm going to tell y'all what happened when I went from Augusta to Charlotte. All right? Right now, this episode's getting kind of long, and I need to catch this nap. And I'll see y'all in the next episode of The Butterfly Show. Keep up, babes. All right? Because it gets crazy. Okay? And it's real. Okay? Bye. Love y'all.